Welcome back to a new video. This is a bit of an experiment, so I'll either record these on Sundays or Monday mornings to kind of preview the week of training, unless like my days of the week change for training. As you can see on the far right where it says Sunday, it doesn't have a little red dot below it. That's because that is the day off that I currently have scheduled, since you can at most schedule 6 days. I did actually do some training yesterday. I did some cardio and then some like shoulder rehab stuff. Nothing that I didn't go out to the shed to work out. I just did some stuff in my living room, but I actually got quite a bit of good stuff done and did a lot of stretching. So I think Sundays will probably be mostly that kind of stuff just to make sure I'm fully recovered. Unless it's like a super light day on the Monday, then I could kind of, just do that workout on Sunday, since on the Sundays you see the next week of training. So if we go up here, you can see the volume and the intensity line. Volume is pretty high and intensity is also pretty high this week. Last week it looked like the volume was a bit higher, but the intensity was a bit lower. And then you can kind of see in that mid-4 week is, I believe, the deload week, most likely. And then it goes, I guess it's only 7 weeks, so I guess I've been lying, but it might just be after the 7 weeks, then there's like the final week of the peak. I guess we'll see at that point, but that's what I counted on my calendar. So that might just be like the 7 weeks of normal training. Who knows? We'll see. But the snatches, a lot of the workouts are heavy in intensity, so they'll have the same text where it says 80 to 90%. If you feel good, add 1 to 2 heavier sets. So this, and you see here, it starts out pretty intense at 101, and of course you can change the weight to whatever you want to do, but I'll probably bump it down to 100 and then just start the first double there and then try to increase from there, since on Saturday I was able to do a double with 105. So ideally I'd like to be able to do more than that and do them without straps, since I'll be at the gym and I'll have the easier bar, the less aggressive knurling bar to use for those. I then changed this movement from, it was block clean above the knee plus jerk. I changed it to just hang clean, for the simple fact that if I'm doing snatches from the floor, it's going to be easier just to go right to clean jerks without the blocks. And if I'm at the gym, I don't like using those wood blocks for full clean jerks. They're durable enough, but I just don't want to have to try to like prevent it from rolling off. So it's more of just a convenience thing. But this is so I had to manually add this complex in, because I could swap to the hang clean above the knee, but it didn't automatically have the jerk included in with it. So I just made my own complex, and it adds the weight for you, which is nice when you add any complex. But this is essentially, a swap to it, what would be there, because it did have hang clean above the knee as one of the alternative exercises, just without the jerk for some reason. But I threw that in there since, of course, I want to practice that movement as well. This was originally bottom-up squats, and it happened later in the week with front squats. I'm not doing pin squats or bottom-up squats because they work just my lower back, and they're not fun at all to set up or to do. And the weight that I'd be able to do, I think it wanted me to do them originally. Actually, I don't have to guess. We can look to see what it would say. It wants me to do them at 166. Like I could probably do like 100 kilograms, unironically, and it would be only my lower back that would be doing the work, which is also not ideal. So just regular back squats, which will be pretty heavy, but kind of excited for those to see how I feel doing those. And then glute bridge, essentially just some sort of accessory. Move to the next day. More snatches, but these are 70 to 80% intensity. You kind of see they kind of give you the preview of the session. They give you some drills. So this is a lot of this session breakdown and drills are new. So I kind of like that, especially the top part where it kind of tells you the goal intensity of the session. So you kind of know, how crazy you can go. But just doubles at 90. And of course, we want to push those up if we can. Because I'll have not used straps the previous day, I'll probably use straps this day. So trying to balance that out. Then some front squats, sets of 5. I'll probably start at 140 to be honest. And were these originally? No, these are just regular front squats. Later in the week, I had bottom-up front squats, which, if back squats are terrible, front squats are even worse from that pin position. I have done pin squats before, but not for a very long time because of that exact reason where I just feel my lower back. I don't feel my legs at all. Clean pulls, up to 170. I'll probably push those up a little bit since they're triples and pulls are easy. And then push presses that start at, will most likely be 105 for a triple. And those ones might not get pushed up at all because triples at that is pretty difficult. I think my best triple is like 110 or 115, something like that. Wednesday, some light hang snatches, light-ish, I should say, hang snatch above the knee plus snatch. Then some will probably be pretty heavy clean jerks. Yeah, so 80 to 90%. And I think these were supposed to be pretty, I know these are heavy as well. So I'm just tricking myself. these are all quite heavy. The previous week when I had a day where I had belt squat and leg press, I did leg extension, leg curl. So I'll most likely do those on Wednesday instead of the belt squat and leg press, since those movements are not fun to do. Then Thursday, there's not actually weightlifting movements, but the squats are pretty intense. This was really originally supposed to be the bottom up squats, which they're at 124, which look impossible, like an impossible weight. So I swapped them to front squats, and they are 6 doubles. So they might actually get pretty wild on the Thursday, because it's my first movement. There's 6 sets, so you can put, whatever RIR. If you put 5, it will jump up a lot. I don't want to do that now because I don't want to mess up the week. I don't think it will really, but don't want to play with stuff I don't need to. Clean pulls again. So part of me wants to swap this out to snatch pulls, but I might just keep them clean pulls because I've been liking just doing regular pulls. And then pull-ups, which means I'll probably swap this out for like a face pull or something, some sort of upper back type movement, since I don't particularly want to do pull-ups, but I like doing kind of like shoulder rehab type stuff when I have the type movement added in. Look at Friday. This is the very intense day, so I'll probably actually keep this on the Friday, because last week I had a pretty intense snatch day, or just training day on a Friday, and I kind of swapped it to Saturday. The Saturday day is a bit lighter, but because it's the beginning of winter break, I should feel pretty fresh. I should feel pretty motivated, and it is Friday, so I do, I can sleep in the next day, of course, so I can kind of just start training whenever. But the snatches are pretty intense, so let's go to those. It's just a bunch of singles, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I mean, essentially, this is what it looks like if it's like a maximum session, because if you put, that it's 3 weight lights multiple times, it will keep adding the weight. With a session like this, I'll of course start at 100 and then keep adding the white lights if I'm able to do them. But of course, no straps in this session. So it might be a day to potentially hit above 120 would be nice, but we'll just have to see how I'm feeling, because the previous day, the front squats, clean pulls, like it's not like I'm going to be 100% fresh for this day, but at worst, you hit 100 a bunch of times, or kind of get between 100 and 110 a bunch of times. Let me break that back down, break this, there we go. The app is definitely a lot easier to navigate now. I haven't had nearly as much issues as I had before with things just kind of getting locked up. When you like open and close, like that's when I would have issues. And then I have hang clean above the knee plus jerk, 2 jerks. I might change this to a clean jerk. I'm gonna kind of wait to that Friday to see how I'm feeling, but could change it to there and then just go heavier on the clean and jerk, but potentially have we'll go back to here. Some more glute bridge and T-bar row. I'm kind of just taking a liberty to do the accessories I want. I am been really good about doing my accessories lately, but I just kind of just do the ones that I want to do and feel like doing on different days. Saturday is block above the knee power snatch, which, did I swap? Nope, that's just the original movement. So those are at 90, so those, it's 5 sets at 90, so they'll get pushed up a little bit. And then no hook, no feet, clean and jerk, which I didn't do last week. I just did regular clean and jerk, which I could swap to there. But you can kind of see if clean and jerk, if you are swapping to different things like block above the knee, power clean, it won't by default add the jerk for some of the movements. But it also is kind of nice, like if your wrist or you can't do jerks, you can have a movement where it's focused just on the clean. So in one sense it's good, but the other, I want to do as many jerks in training as possible because I just need to practice. But go to squats now. So these were just regular back squats. So they start at what will probably be 185 for 3 sets of 4. So those might be a pretty heavy set of 4 on that day as well. And then snatch pulls with will be 130, and I might push those up a little bit. Probably not too much. When I'm doing just clean pulls or snatch pulls, I try not to go too crazy with increasing weight. I say that after like maxing my deadlift last Saturday, but I really try to delineate if I'm doing a clean pull versus a deadlift or a snatch deadlift, because I want to mimic what I'm doing in the snatch and not just the maximum weight I can load on the bar. I still like to do that, but I delineate between the two. And then that's a Saturday day. I most likely will add more bench press on that day. Since last week I got up to 120, potentially maybe go up a little bit more, but I also would like to do more volume. Last week I didn't do any chest bench press volume after my top set. I just worked up to 120 and then finished. So on this day, potentially maybe work up to like 120 again and then do some drop sets, really light drop sets, probably at like 80 kilos or so, but not really trying to build a bench press. I just kind of want to work the bench press and kind of use that as just an accessory movement. But Let me know what you think of this kind of video, just kind of like preview of the week. And then you can kind of see, if you do watch this video, how far I deviate from what was originally on there. And the last thing I'll show, so if we go back to today, I can change these sliders. So if you go down a little bit, it changes that no overall number. It starts by 50 at default. But I can put I'm motivated to train, I slept between 6 and 7 hours, I'm in a surplus, and then I can say I'm fatigued because I am still in fatigue. And then if you hit submit, we'll go to here. So it didn't actually move that up a lot. So usually if it goes to 63, it doesn't move a ton, but let's kind of just move the sliders kind of crazy. So I'm eating a lot, I'm sleeping all day, and I'm unemployed now. So it actually kept the weights the same. Did it increase these? No, it actually didn't increase anything. So I guess sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but I have noticed it does change in some of those, so I'll keep that there. I always put I'm in a moderate, even though I guess I'm in a significant, that'd be like I'm really overeating, but essentially if I'm not losing weight, I put that I'm in a surplus. Because this morning was weird. I weighed 109, but it was after eating and drinking like 32 ounces of water, so I had quite a bit of food and fluids in me from just the breakfast. So it's not my true weight, of course. I mean, 32 ounces of water, so I know I was below 238 for sure before drinking all that. But anywho, let me know what you think of this style of video. I can always do one of these on like a Sunday or Monday and kind of preview the week and show you what it looks like in the app as well, since I'm not doing that with the individual workouts. But anywho, that's it for this one. I'll talk to you on the next video. Peace.